that cause there's magic in my bed. I'm on. Yeah. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Fantasy Premier League with FPL Wizard. I hope you're all fine. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a great end to the season in FPL, guys. Just 2 more game weeks to go before we will come to an end of this season's FPL. And we're just hoping to finish with a flourish and to do as our best as possible, guys. I mean, the chips have gone to plan, and we're using it accordingly. So this week it's the turn of the bench boost, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about bench boost. We're gonna talk about our problems. By the way, last week I had a really decent one. Double game week, captaining Haaland, Nicholas Jackson, Palmer, Reguilon, Gabriel. I mean, it's just an overall really good week for me. So we just need to build from here. We just need to build on it. So that's just the basics of my game week 36. Don't want to dwell too much on that. So I'm just gonna go straight and gonna talk about or start talking about, let us say, the bench boost. Right. So let me just take you to pick team here, so I can just talk about the problems which are in my team right now. So guys, the obvious problem that I have is Harry Maguire, who's injured himself, and he's not going to be available until the FA Cup final. And Bruno Fernandes is a bit of a doubt. And the plan was fairly simple until yesterday. I had thought to replace Bruno Fernandes with Richarlison and Maguire with possibly somebody like a Romero or a not a Romero. I mean Dello. The plan was to replace him with Dello. I thought it was gonna be all fine and fair without any problems, but then the news surfaced that Richarlison is not being included in the Brazilian squad. And the counter stuck again, says Jugs. I'm sorry, man. It's just me being myself again. The wizard sometimes forgets. There you go. The counter's working again. Hey, Abiroop. Hey, wizard. Hey, Jugs. Welcome to the stream, guys. I hope you're doing well. I was in the middle of so I was just in the middle of discussing my own problems of my team, guys. So basically the main problem that I have right now is Richarlison is now injured, and we don't even know whether he's really injured or not, because the Brazilian team has said that he's injured, but he played last week and Ange Postecoglou has not said much about him. So it is a bit of a tough call, but in the case of a bench boost, you'd never want to go there, because you never know that whether he plays or not. You just don't want to go there now. So the only alternatives are the players like Kulusevski, Brennan Johnson, and so on and so forth, right? So this is my problem, and obviously we're going to solve this problem on stream. And of course, guys, the bench boost is going to be active, so it's gonna activate my bench boost. So there's not going to be an issue here, so everybody can know. Right, so N says, hey Wiz, I've taken a 12-point hit for my bench boost team, but I'm thinking of selling Mateta for Jackson. And to be honest with you, I think taking a minus 12 hit to play your bench boost is defeating the purpose of the bench boost itself. Then if I was you, I would just play whoever I had rather than take a 12-point hit. I mean, for me personally, anything more than a minus 4 defeats the purpose of the bench boost, because bench boost traditionally gives you what, like 10, 12, 15, 20 points off the bench. The average, I'd say, is like 12 to 15 points. So if you're taking a 12-point hit, you're essentially just negating the hit which you took on your bench boost. Unless, one player goes and scores a 20-pointer, then obviously it pays off. But generally, on an average, I think I would not suggest taking a 12-point hit for a bench boost. It's just my opinion. See, you have Saka, Reguilon, Gabriel, Pau. I mean, it's not about planning in 1 week. When you have to play your bench boost, You have to plan ahead of time, bro. Just have to plan ahead of time. You just can't do it all in 1 week unless you have a wild card, you know. And if you have a wild card, then you can't activate the bench boost in the same week. So in the end, it defeats the purpose, in my opinion, bro. I think Chaloba will play both games. I think he will. They don't have too many options, especially now. The issue is, I think Reece James coming back might be an issue if they push Axel Disasi. You know, then it might be an issue with Chaloba. So it remains to be seen. So I can't say with a fair amount of certainty. But later on, when we go and check, we go and check, for example, the jump the wave predictions, I think we'll get a fair idea there. But I feel Reece James is gonna start. It's all over Twitter. Hey Cinema Crazy, Avirup says, who should I replace Maguire with? I have only 4.3 and whom to differential captain if I want to gain rank. Avirup, if you ask me, I think this is not the week to go a differential captain, but I guess if you want to go differential, I guess Kevin De Bruyne is the one to go for. Other than that, if you want to go really differential, I guess Son can be tried as well, you know. But personally, I'm just sticking with Haaland. He says, I need to play a high-risk move to go up. I need to make 30 points. Bro, if you need to make 30 points, you've already down by 12 points. So it's just, you have to balance the odds, you know. Just need to balance the odds. But if I would not, I mean, taking hits is not the solution. Planning ahead of time is always the solution. CAV says, who in for Maguire for 4.4? Abirup, it's a difficult question. Actually, the budget is the issue. Otherwise, you know, somebody like I guess how much is Veltman? Veltman is 4.3. I mean, if anybody wants to go with the 4.3 million, you can go with Joel Veltman. If somebody wants to go with the 4.4, you can go for a Van de Ven. Is an option, definitely. I was planning 2 free transfers, then my free hit previous week, but I didn't realize that plan wouldn't work. I have to do well. It's alright, my friend. But still, I mean, if you're having to take a 12-point hit, it's not my style, bro. I'm not saying you're wrong or I'm right or anything, but it's not my style to play that way, you know. Milo Taft says, hi, Wiz, should I transfer Richarlison to Jeffrey Schlupp? No. Jeffrey Schlupp. Why would you want to get Jeffrey Schlupp away to Wolves, bro? If you want to take out Richarlison, just take him out for Brennan Johnson or somebody like a Kulusevski. Gita says, hey, Sam, is it okay to move White out for Romero? Also, is Bruno Fernandes playing? See, Bruno Fernandes has been in training, and beyond that, we don't have any other information about Bruno Fernandes, so it will be very hard for me to predict. But if you go to Emma at Jump the Wave and see, you know, just a second, Emma at Jump the Wave, and see the predictions for United. Let us see what the United fans seem to think about Bruno Fernandes rather than me, who has less idea about United. Although read the forums, I've tried to get some information, but Brighton, Newcastle, Arsenal, Spurs, Man City, Man United. There you go. So according to the United fans, Fernandes has a 95% to start, right? 95% chance to start. Obviously, Mount got injured, so that even makes this need greater, you know. Obviously, the only nailed on, I guess, the player who would start is Garnacho and maybe Rashmush. You know, Johnny Evans can be an interesting defender if anybody wants a cheap alternative, but I'm not sure if he can play 2 games or not. You know, somebody else was asking me about Spurs. So you can see, according to the Spurs fans, they think 93% fans thinks Richarlison is going to start. But the issue is this prediction was made before the news came out. If you see the comment by FPL Velvet, this came before the news about Richarlison came out. So make your decisions about Bruno Fernandes. This is pretty hard for me to call this one, guys. It's nigh on him, you know, hard to call Bruno Fernandes whether he's gonna start or not. Just a second. There you go. So FPL Jack says, what does Emma say? I already showed that. I'm going Son. Last real chance to catch up since our teams are so similar. That is true, CAV. That is true. Anybody who's planned ahead will have kind of a fairly templatey kind of a team but even the template will offer you a pretty good rank boost if it works. Livramento is not nailed on. I'm not sure. I think Livramento might play one game, might miss the other. I'm not sure he's gonna play both. Todd says, "Hey Wiz, hey Todd, I hope you're doing well, bro." He says, "Hey Wiz, KDB and Alvarez out for Rodrigo and Haaland." Oh, you don't have Haaland, huh? Last week would have been painful anyway. I get the point. Todd, is there any way to keep KDB and just transfer out Alvarez for Haaland? Maybe somebody like a Bruno Fernandes to a Brendan Johnson. Does that give you enough money? Otherwise, you can do it, my friend. This one is very difficult. Good morning, Neil. I hope you're doing well. Yep, bench boost this weekend, bro. I don't mind. Weltman could do Bruno out for Johnson, Gross. Then they have a bit more budget for defense as second free. Yeah, I mean that's fine, bro. The issue is I'm not sure about what to do with Bruno because, even if Bruno doesn't start the first game against Arsenal, comes off the bench, I'm still fine with that because, in the end, I guess Newcastle is more of a money fixture than Arsenal. Arsenal's, won't concede that many goals if they do, so. And United are playing up with a pretty much patched up team. As you saw last week, it was carnage at Crystal Palace. Isaac or Son triple captain? A KDB, I guess. If you want to go differential, I would triple captain KDB. Otherwise, I would simply stick with Haaland triple captain. That is the easiest. Out of these two, if I had to select, I guess I'd go with Son. I mean, you can go with Isaac as well, but the thing is, Wilson is back. He might eat into the minutes, so I guess Son. But personally, I would go with KDB if you want to go differential. What about White to Romero? If you want to, you can do that. White to Romero. I mean, you can keep Ben White as well. I mean, it's just, White to Romero, White to Van de Ven, White to Pedro Porro. Emerson Royal, I just don't really like. I think there's always a red card in the waiting with this guy. Do you feel Foden plays both games? What about... I think Foden will play both games, yes. Saka, I think Saka's going to be alright. No issues with Saka. He's going to play. Milo Taff says, Wiz, will thank you kindly for your sterling efforts this season. Really look forward to your live streams. Thank you so much, Milo Taff. You're really kind, bro. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Jeevan says, best 4.2 million defender for replacement of Harry Maguire. 4.2 will not get you too far, unfortunately, my friend. 4.3 would bring you Joel Weltman. 4.4 would bring you Van de Ven. But 4.2 is, kind of a difficult price point to find a good defender. Johnny Evans could be the one, but I'm not sure if he starts both the games. Tino Livramento, again, you can bring in Livramento. I'm not so sure. Adam Webster, yes, Adam Webster is also available. He's back. He's back now. And last week he actually kept a clean sheet, got a couple of bonus points as well. So because when Heke is out, Webster's going to start too. So yeah, Adam Webster is 4.2. Agreed. You can go with Adam Webster as well. That's a good shout. That's a good shout. You can definitely just sorry guys, I'm just looking through. Can't seem to find Lewis Dunk in defense for some reason. Oh, I've fixed the cost. Now I can find him. So Dunk is 5.2. I mean, all the three Brighton defenders, the different price points. I mean, if you want a premium one, you can go with Dunk. If you want an 4.3, you can go with the Weltman. If you want even a cheaper one, you can go with Webster as well. Yeah. Luis Diaz out for Foden or Saka out for KDB. I would go with the Saka. Luis Diaz out for KDB is the best one for me. But if you obviously cannot Luis Diaz out for KDB, and this is Aston Villa away is not going to be. Luis Diaz out for Foden seems better for me. But if you ask me who's going to score more points, I feel that KDB is going to score more points than Foden. But obviously, if he cannot afford, then it's all right. One free transfer: Bradley and 8 Nouri. Bradley and 8 Nouri to Spurs and Newcastle defender for -4. Do have Everton and Arsenal defender on the bench. Don't know what transfers to do. I mean, Everton and Arsenal defense this week is fine. Especially Everton, who play against Sheffield United. I think that's a good defender to have. I think Spurs and Newcastle defender to go for is the right ploy. I guess, although you can't expect them to keep clean sheets, to be honest with you, because even Spurs, I mean, Spurs against Burnley, you can expect maybe a clean sheet, but against City, obviously, there's no chance. Same as with Newcastle, you know. So if you want to get those defenders, fine, but just get them for maybe considering 4 or 5 points per defender, not more than that. Veltman not as nailed as I thought, makes me want to do Bruno out. Veltman is fairly nailed on. I mean, especially after the injury to Van Hecke, I feel he's going to play now, CAV. So I think he should be alright, Veltman. What's your final take on Bruno, says Jug. Jug, I'm thinking, again, you know, at the back of my mind to what to do with Bruno, basically. You know, just let me go to my transfers page so I can discuss my thought process a little bit better. There's a new kid who's been playing right back with Brighton, having nothing to play for, and Lamptey back as well. Lamptey might... Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but, you know, Brighton defense, obviously, if you want to get the most nailed on, then it has to be Lewis Dunk. You know, anybody else you get, I mean, Adam Webster, I feel, is going to start all the games. 4.2 million, price point is good as well. You know, the only problem is he's just back from an injury, and if it reoccurs, you never know what happens there. So that's the only issue, you know. Lamptey might be training. I'm not sure how much he plays. Again, it's a minefield. The Newcastle, the Brighton defense. But I guess Adam Webster, Lewis Dunk number 1, Adam Webster number 2, Joel Veltman number 3. Wes, would you like 2 free transfers for 38? I would absolutely love that, bro. But you know, since I've got, I'm on a bench boost and I've got I got a couple of problems to fix. I don't think I'm gonna be able to go there. I mean, if Bruno Fernandes was fine, I would simply replace Maguire with Van de Ven and replace Reguilon with somebody else. You know, like I'd bring in a you know, a Brighton defender or somebody else, just to have a 15 double game week players. But I'm not sure about Bruno Fernandes. So if this remains to be the case, then I'll simply take out Bruno Fernandes for either a Johnson and Maguire for somebody like you know, a Tottenham defender. And maybe I'll even take Reguilon out for a Brighton defender. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about a -4. I might do that. Igor could play centre back instead of Webster. He could, but I don't think he will. I think when Webster is available, I think he is the one who's going to play, bro. But that's just my opinion. Again, you know, I don't want to force my opinion on anybody. I'm just giving you my personal opinion here. Actually, the issue is issue with Richarlison is the one which is the main problem. Actually, Richarlison being out, it gives me a big problem. The problem which it gives, the problem which it gives me is that if Richarlison, for example, plays, you know, then whose minutes will he eat into? Will he eat into Kulusevski's minutes? Will he eat into Madison's minute? Will he eat into Johnson's minutes? And if I end up bringing in Johnson and then Richarlison starts eating up Johnson's minutes, I'm a little bit concerned about that, because we haven't got any communication from the club Spurs in terms of Richarlison. Ange Postecoglou said he's the same as last week, but the Brazilian coach has said something. Now it's just difficult. Just difficult. Haaland starts, says FPL Tony. Yep. Haaland is starting, guys. The Athletic, pretty good source, says he's out. But yeah, but they're getting the information from the same source. They're getting the information from the Brazilian team. They're not getting it from the Spurs team. think Dunk could be the only one to play 90 in both. No, that's possible, CAV. I don't claim to be an expert on Brighton, but if you want, I can actually go to Emma at Jump the Wave and I can actually look at what the fans seem to think, right? That's all I can do. I don't claim to be an expert on Brighton, not even close. So 100% Welshman, 100% Webster, 100% Dunk, 100% Igor. I think it's fairly clear, to be honest with you. I don't think there's not much. Hey FPL Sam, I hope you're doing well. Little hope Alvarez starts as well. Alvarez, yeah, I mean, he's been in and out, so I guess he could start. The only doubt in this Brighton team, according to the fans, is between Jakub Moder and Ciso. Otherwise, everybody seems to think the other players. Gilmore is nailed on. Buonanotte, Adingra, Welbeck. Everybody seems to think they're nailed on. I mean, the fans are giving them 100%. Verbruggen, Dunk. Verbruggen obviously is a keeper. Dunk, Weltman, Webster, and Igor. So, I mean, you can, I think with a fair amount of certainty, you can go with these players. Especially somebody like a Welshman who can play centre-back as well as a full-back. More the second game, which would be a worry. I wouldn't be too much worried, CAV. I think at this moment in time, I think short-term vision works. You know, I don't think we need a tunnel vision at this moment in time. We just need to just kind of, you know, play what's in front of us. What about bringing in a Brighton goalkeeper? I don't recommend bringing in the Brighton goalkeeper. You never know what happens, bro, because they've got Steele and they've got Verbruggen. He'll start 3 weeks and then they'll start Steele randomly in one of the games. And especially when they've got not much to play for Brighton, they might go crazy a little bit. So I personally wouldn't go there. Hall or Livermento? I think Livermento. Caleb Pro, should I sell Salah for a hit to afford Porro instead of Van de Ven? If I was you, Caleb Pro, I would not. I would keep Salah. You know, he hauled last week, looked pretty happy. Liverpool looked pretty settled. Even if he doesn't do well in 37, you'll still get a good game from him in 38. Fadzali says it's the peak of FPL when I have to get Welbeck in. Well, it seems, you know, Welbeck can do well. Welbeck can do well, especially against... I'm not sure if Reece James is starting, but I think he can do well, bro. Bruno and Maguire to Johnson and Dunk look the most likely for me. Well, yeah, I mean, if you are going with Johnson, then the only options you are left with is kind of Brighton and Manchester United because there's no Spurs spot to occupy. I mean, you can go with the Van de Ven, you can go with the Romero, you know, Emerson Royal. You can go with not the Spurs defenders, I mean, you can go with Diego Dalot, you know, as well. You can go with Lewis Dunk. If you don't want to get Johnson, then obviously the Spurs spots are open for you. If anybody is really... Thank you, Visit, says Caleb. You're most welcome, my friend. Reece James is a troll. I know he's trolled me a lot of times, my friend. It seems every season I start with him, and then in the game, in first 2 game weeks, he'll maybe keep 1 clean sheet, and then he'll get injured, and then I'll put him on the bench, lose some value, and then eventually have to sell him because it's a long-term injury. It's just always been a troll for me and my team. I've been there, keeping him through his injury, play 1 week, and absolutely. Could do Garnacho or Gross, but I think prefer Johnson as a punt. CAV, yeah, I mean, I do prefer Johnson as a punt, and on you know, I do prefer Johnson as well because of the fact that he gives me some money in the bank as well, as compared to if I bring in, let's say, Maddison. So Haaland is starting. Haaland is starting, and that's the only leak we've got as of now. But I hope to get some more leaks. Anyways, are you using a bench? I'm on a bench boost this week. Yes. Faz says, "Hey, Bruno will play centre back." Which Bruno are you talking about, bro? Centre back. Faz, I'm not sure if I get your question. I'm not sure if Bruno will play or not, but he was training. You know, he was training. Between Spurs and Newcastle defense, which team would you prefer more? Not Porro. I prefer Spurs for this week because I prefer a Spurs defender because Spurs are playing against Burnley and Sheffield United in the next 3 games. So the only City game is the one which is a difficult one. Otherwise, I mean, they're playing against Sheffield United and they're playing against Burnley. two weakest teams which you can think against keeping a clean sheet. CAV says, plus I think I'd go with somebody like Johnson with my free transfer in 38 anyway. I get your point, CAV. As I just mentioned, I think that's a fair point. That's absolutely fair. Fast says, hi, visit Saka news. I think Saka's gonna be alright, but if you're still concerned, let's go and see what the fans seem to think about Bukayo Saka. 100%. No doubt in the fans' mind that he's going to start. Just like mine, I've got no doubt that Saka is going to start. Knox, don't keep Saka out. Never keep Saka out. But that does not mean Bruno's gonna play centre back, bro. I mean, Bruno is a creative midfielder. I mean, he's not even physically, he's not even built in the way that he can play centre back. Casemiro is a defensive midfielder. I think he's still can play a makeshift role in there, you know. But I don't think Bruno can play centre back. I don't think that's even a discussion to be had about this. To be honest with you, no chance. What are your moves, Viz? Abhijit, I'm thinking about selling Bruno Fernandes to somebody like a Johnson, and then I'm thinking of replacing Harry Maguire with I guess somebody like a Delo. And if I don't want to get Delo, then I would possibly go with Dunk. Hey, Viz, who to bench between Bruno and Gordon? I would bench Bruno and play Gordon because I'm not sure if he starts, my friend. But although he's been training, one of the Insider United or somebody like that on Twitter, he said that he's a risk. So I'm not sure what that risk means, whether it is an injury risk or what kind of a risk is he talking about. But Saka is fine to start. I mean, that's what the fans seem to think, which have voted for Emma at Shump to Wave. So I don't. Haaland starts. Yeah, everybody's replacing the same. Everybody's just leaking the same news. But I don't think there's any merit here. Anyways, let's just move forward. I don't see anything on Twitter. If I get any news, I'll let you know. We've got like 30 minutes to go. I hope we'll get more news about City. Anyways, let's answer your questions. Amrabat is rumored to play. Amrabat, Casemiro, all these people, they can play at centre back, guys. In the end, they are defensive midfielders. They have the ability to they know how it is to play there, and it is easier to play as a defender than it is to play a CDM, because in CDM you've got to keep 360 vision. You know, as a defender you only have to play in what is in front of you. So although I'm not like discounting anything here, but I think Amrabat and Casemiro can do a job there much better than Bruno can. Yeah, so guys, this is the basic problem. We don't Kabore to Gusto 4.3 already have Livermento and Taylor. No, don't get Gusto because it is a rumor that Reece James is going to start. So if I was you, I would not bring in Gusto. Hey Viz, I have all double game week players apart from Arsenal boys, but I have Kelleher in the bench. So do you think it's a worth to hit brings him? I think you can take a hit and take out Kelleher, yes. I think if you want, you can bring in the Chelsea keeper, you can bring in the Spurs goalkeeper, you can bring in the United goalkeeper if you wanted, but I would not recommend that too much. Vicario or Petrovic. Girit says Salah to Gordon or Johnson and Roll, or Gusto to Trippier, White and Salah to Madueke. Why do you want to sell Salah is the question, bro. I mean, if you want to get him back next week, then it is fine. You can sell Salah to Gordon. I mean, that should be alright. Next week you can get Salah back if you want. You know, because next week Salah's got a plum fixture, and the way he performed in the last game week, I mean, you want to have Salah in that game against Wolves at Anfield for Klopp's last game. I personally would love to have Salah for that game. Kabore to what? Yeah, 4.3 is your budget. You can go with the with a Brighton defender, Faz. You can go with somebody like Webster or Joel Welchman. Worth taking out Saliba, Gabriel for Burn on a -4? No chance. No, I don't think for a -4 you should take out Gabriel or Saliba for Burn. Next week they're playing against Everton. So I would keep my Arsenal defenders rather than take them out for a -4. I don't think it's worth it, bro. No, I don't think it's absolutely not worth it. Guys, I'm doing the stream here and I've got guests in my house and they're kind of sitting in my guest room. But, FPL makes us do these kind of things. I can hear their voices from the outside. Insanity. That's what I do. Who's more nailed, Webster? I think they're both nailed on. If you ask me who was more nailed on, it's Webster. It's Webster. This one's gonna. The Bruno Fernandes one is tricky, guys. Zara says, "Thank you. You're most welcome, my friend." So the thing is, guys, this one is very tricky because even I don't know what to do with Bruno Fernandes. But I'm only telling you one thing, that if you have by the way, guys, if anybody is kind of doesn't want to get Livramento and still wants to get a Newcastle defender, you can even go for Emil Kraft. He's 4.4 million. He'll give you a route to Newcastle. He's cheaper than Dunk and he'll still play more, so if you want, you can go with Kraft as well. Saka is not a worry. No, I think Saka plays. Saka is not a worry. Is Richarlison playing? That's $1 million question, but the news since yesterday says he doesn't. I wouldn't be surprised to see him starting, but at least the news everywhere, even Fabrizio Romano has tweeted yesterday that the Brazilian coaches said that Richarlison has been left out of the squad because he's he has an injury or something of that sort. So yeah, I mean, on that basis alone, I wouldn't get Richarlison on my bench boost, and that's the same with Bruno Fernandes as well. I'm just waiting for any news. By the way, if anybody has a Chelsea spot open and you want to kind of sell Bruno Fernandes, I would consider Noni Madueke as well. I think Madueke is like really, really playing well, and on a double game week, I think you wouldn't lose anything by going with Madueke, and he's just 5.3 million. He's got 2 double digits hauls in the last 3 game weeks. He's scored a goal and assist against Aston Villa, a goal and assist against West Ham United. So if you have a Chelsea spot open, go with the Madueke. Kabore to Chaluba. I'm not sure if Chaluba starts all the games, my friend. Chaluba, listen here. Chaluba, the thing is, Reece James is going to be playing. So Chaluba might lose his place because Axel Disasi is going to start. Where's Chelsea? So you see here, I think these predictions came before Reece James tweet. So it is not factored in here. So Chaluba is 83%. But now, if this came out, I think Chaluba would be down because Reece James starting. That means Chaluba is going to get dropped. Again, that's just my opinion, but that's what I feel is going to happen. If Reece James is back, I think Chaluba is going to be the one to get dropped. Alright, let's answer your question. Haaland triple captain, why not? I'm going to transfer out Maguire, bro. That's the plan. Any keeper for 3.7 million. 3.7. Is there any keeper? I think I got a 3.8 one, but 3.7. I think there is, right? Gallagher is 3.7. Stefan Ortega is 3.6. If you want to go with Ortega. 3.6 million. Ortega. Go with the Ortega, bro. You never know, on the off chance he might get a game, but no playing keeper for 3.7 million. If you want to ask that, if there's a playing keeper for 3.7 million, I think there's no playing keeper for 3.7 million. No chance. Let's go back. Isaac and Gordon both start for. Now who is this guy? I don't. He's tweeted now. Team News FPL. I don't follow him, so I don't know if I can trust him. Guys, by the way, if you're going for Brennan Johnson, you need to know that Brennan Johnson will be impacted by if Richarlison, whether he plays or not. Brighton's fixtures are bad. You recommended Weltman Webster. Well, they've got a double game week. Otherwise, if you want to go for a single game week player, then you can go with the even Everton player. You know, they've got a good fixture. You can go with the West. I mean, I don't recommend single game week players in double game weeks, bro. Thailand's chief asset. I live in Thailand and I am currently ranked in the top 500k. In Thailand, if you are ranked top 300k, you get laid. How do I get there? Spend some money, bro. I don't know. I don't have answer to these questions. Triple captain KDB. Babin says need to replace Maguire and Van Hecke. I would replace them with I guess Livermento as an option, Dan Burn as an option. Cheap options are not very common in these teams. Johnny Evans, on the outside chance he plays both the games, he is back at least. So United might take a chance and play Johnny Evans, but they don't have good games is the issue. So it all depends on what money do you have. Azmir says, thanks Wiz, I'm going with Kelleher on my bench. I'm bench boosting and already have Petrovic starting. Not keen on taking a hit. I brought Guardiola on a free. If I was you, I would take a hit, and if you have the money, I would bring in a playing keeper. But if you don't have a money for a playing keeper, then we don't have an option, right? We won't take 2 hits to replace a keeper, but 1 hit I would take. CAV, my plan depends on what I want to do with Bruno Fernandes. If I want to replace Bruno Fernandes, it's pretty simple. I take out Bruno Fernandes, I'll bring in Brennan Johnson, and then I'll replace Harry Maguire. Then I'll probably roll with the Reguilon if I don't want to take a hit. So it all depends. Joe Pedro picked up an injury in ankle training today. De Zerbi does not know the severity. Whatever. I'm just going through. Guys, I'm again repeating once again and 10 times. If anybody wants to go with a differential captain, go with KDB. Otherwise, simply captain Haaland. There's nothing to do. Nothing else to do. I mean, you're getting my point, guys. So thanks to Tanviz, top of all my leagues, rather play it safe for the remaining year. Cheers, Azmir. I hope you win them all, my friend. Cheers. Sounds good. Who in for Maguire in a similar situation? CAV, let's just go through my team, right? I think it's better. So say simply, if I wanted to go for Johnson, see guys, nobody's considering this, guys. Madison is also an option, right? So, but nobody's considering Madison as an option, but you can go with Madison as well, right? And if you don't want to go with Madison, then obviously Johnson is the option. which this is the one which I'm looking at as well. And then in place of Maguire, initially I had a mind to go with the Diego Dalot, but with these games I don't see much upside in this move, you know. So and I don't even want to bring a single game week player. A single game week player, right? So that only leaves me basically with I've got 3 Newcastle, I've got 3 Spurs, I've got 3 City, I've got 3 Chelsea. It only leaves me with 2 teams, guys. Right? I basically need two teams which are left, United or Brighton. In this case, I can go with a Brighton player, just simply bring in Dunk or somebody else, whoever I want to, kind of, you know. Issue with this move is I don't have enough money to bring in Salah if I want to next week. That's the only issue, you know. I really want to finish the season with Salah. That's the only kind of issue that these moves give me. Otherwise, I'd love to have money to get Salah. Definitely Captain Haaland. He's a workhorse. Yeah, workhorse. It's just a finisher, basically, my friend. Kabore to Emerson. Emerson who? Royale? I mean, if you want to go with a Spurs defender, I guess Pedro Porro is number 1 on my list, and number 2, I guess, is Romero. You know, if you don't have enough money for Romero, you can go with Van de Ven as well. Is Matata to Jackson worth a -4? I think it is definitely worth. Is Gusto playing? I don't think he plays. Talent says more music, man. Give me the beats. Right, bro. Burn Petrovic or Kukurea Vicario. I would go with the so Onana Dubravka. Okay. Also, 1 out of Foden and De Bruyne and Gordon and Bruno. I would go with De Bruyne, Gordon, Burn and Petrovic. West Ham Emerson. Faz, if you want to go there, if you can. West Ham are literally on the beach. It doesn't matter whether they're playing Luton Town or they're playing Burnley. Their heads are not there, bro. Didn't you see what happened last week against Chelsea? They were like sleeping, literally. Subhajit says my free hit active confused for my 5th midfielder Foden Bruno. Foden, bro. There's no confusion there. Play Foden. Have De Bruyne, Gordon, Son, Palmer. Simply go with Foden, bro. There's no doubt there. I'm not sure about Bruno Fernandes. He was training. Kyle Walker has been benched. Another news from FPL Tony, and thanks to FPL Sam for giving us the update. He has been benched. Kyle Walker has been benched. Again, Pep Rula in full swing. Who's playing? Maybe Rico Lewis? I don't know. Akanji? Nobody knows with Pep. Pep is Pep, you know. You never know with Pep. I have Walker. Oh man, he's been benched according to FPL. Where is the news? Are your teams ready? Says FPL Tony. Well, I don't see this news. This Kyle Walker benched. Lazy FPL. Okay, so Lazy FPL has tweeted that Kyle Walker has been benched. Just a second. I'm going through the news on Twitter, guys. Ederson is starting, by the way, guys. Faz, Emerson, I would not go with. Emerson Royale is my last priority as a defender, bro. Guys, by the way, you know, there's a reminder on Twitter by Late Riser, and I also want to remind you, if you're playing your bench boost, don't forget to activate it. Sometimes you leave most points on the bench. Don't do that, guys. Don't forget to activate your free hits. Lazy FPL says that just a second, guys. I'm Today Twitter is being a pain. Walker, please. Edison starts. Walker doesn't. Kyle Walker. Don't transfer him out right now, Jugs. Just let's wait for confirmation by FPL Tony. Although lazy FPL is mostly right. Mostly he's right. Alright, let's go. Who to replace Gusto and Darwin for? I would replace Gusto with Darwin. I guess I'll replace with Isaac or Jackson if you don't have. Gusto, I guess I'd replace with I guess it depends on the money. If you don't have Porro, I would replace him with Porro. If you already have Porro, I guess I'd double up with Wen. Depends on how much money you have, bro. I can't find many tweets today. I don't know, something is up with Twitter. By the way, guys, as I already told you, I've got guests at my house. As soon as the deadline approaches, I'm gonna be disappearing with the invisibility cloak. Otherwise, I'm gonna get burnt, guys. I am unlimited money, he says. Then go with Pedro Porro and Jackson or Isaac, whichever one you don't have. His thoughts on Chelsea defense. Only, I guess, Cucurella is the only one worth considering. But personally, I've just gone with Petrovic to avoid all this, all this. Removing Walker results in a -4. I also have Maguire and Van Hecke. Oh man, that's bad, bro. Imran says, afternoon Wiz. Afternoon, Imran. I hope you're doing well. Up the Chelsea. I can't say that, but I wish you all the best. That's all I can say. You choose next player, but you need to retweet it, he says. What does that mean? I don't know what's going on. Alright, no more news, guys. Let's just stick with what we have now. Kabore to Igor. You can go with Igor, yes. That is also an option. If you don't have the money for Webster, you can go with Igor as well. But how much is Igor? The issue is, guys, I have not considered these players for my own team. Igor is 4.3 as well. Over Igor, I would go with Webster. Walker and Maguire to Guardiola and Veltman seems so boring. I just want Brennan. Well, if you want him, then do it, bro. Have Porro. Sometimes you have to play with your instinct. Kabore. Yeah, you can do it if you want to, my friend. Bring in a Brighton defender. It depends on whether you want to bring in Dunk, Webster or Igor. I'm fine with all. Even Veltman. Have Porro, Byrne, Delo and Petrovic, Igor and Cucurella on the bench. Any other defender you have in mind? These seems like fine, bro. They all got double game weeks. They're all good, in my opinion. Can't afford Son even after taking a -8. Should I transfer out KDB and get Son back? Man, this is yes us. Technically, you should be owning both KDB and Son, but to take out one and bring in the other, I would not recommend it. If you own KDB, you hold on to KDB. If you want, you can bring in Son via some other route, but don't take out KDB for Son. Which two players, Pedro Porro or Garnacho and Johnson and Dunk? I would go with Pedro Porro and John. Yeah, because you got one Spurs slot. Man, I like Pedro Porro more. I guess Pedro Porro and Garnacho. It depends on whether Maddison starts or not, because when Maddison comes on the pitch, he starts to take a lot of corners, set pieces and stuff. It's difficult for me to call it simply. George, hey George, welcome to the stream. Pedro Porro and Garnacho seems to be fine, but then Garnacho's fixtures I don't like, bro. Go with Johnson and Dunk if you want, but Pedro Porro and Johnson. Go with Porro and Johnson. Sorry, and Garnacho. Porro and Garnacho, I guess. Sorry for changing my mind. But I'm a human. I just joined. The team news is Haaland starts. The team news is Edison starts, and team news is Kyle Walker does not start. That's all we have. James says, "Hey, Wizard, thoughts on Maguire to Shalobah?" I would not do it, James, because Reece James is back fit. So I'm not sure which Chelsea player will be dropped if Reece James comes in. Might just keep Walker and hope City concede. Is Trippier a good option on a free hit instead of Burn? They've got a double game week City. Is Trippier a good option? He might not play one, he might play the next. I think Trippier is fine. The fans seem to think Trippier will start, but it's still a risk. You know, Burn is not a risk. Burn is nailed on. But if Trippier starts, obviously he'll get more points than Burn. So, gracias, Saka to Bruno or Delo to Romero. I would go Delo to Romero. Saka, I think, is going to be fine. How come Shear is now orange flagged instead of red? George, I'm not sure, but I don't think he starts. Why Webster over Igor? I feel he's more nailed on. I think he came back and he did well, and I think De Zerbi prefers him. You know, I just feel that personally. You know, and he got 2 bonus points as well against Aston Villa. Hi Wiz, would you suggest for Fernandes, Maguire, and Steele? You can, yes. I'm not sure about Fernandes, but Maguire and Steele definitely you can take them out for a hit. All right, guys. I think we won't get any more information. Will we? I don't think we get any more information. Where's Bruno and Maguire to Son and Dunk? Bruno and Maguire to Son and Dunk, that's absolutely fine, bro. Do it. Do it. Maguire and Steele for who? I guess the only options are Newcastle and Brighton defense. And Steele, it depends on how much money you have, Michael. That's important. Can you tell me how much money you have? $0.7. Obviously, Onana's out of the question. Can you afford? Can you afford Petrovic? I've gone Bruno and Maguire to Garnacho and Romero instead of Porro. If you didn't have the money, then Romero is fine as well. But I prefer Porro over Romero. Michael, if you can get a Chelsea goalkeeper, you already have Petrovic. Vicario, Onana, they're all expensive, bro. They're all expensive. It's hard. Walker is benched. That's the news on the internet. I don't know, bro. I don't have any inside information. This is FPL Tony. What does he say again? Phil Foden is starting, guys. News is Phil Foden also starts. Anyways, guys, I think it's time to make my own transfers as well. Dubravka. Yeah, I think should be fine. Dubravka should be alright. Yeah, if you want to go with Dubravka, it should be alright. That's a good option. Just give me a second. Give me a second. Let me see. Actually, Pope is back in training, so I'm a little bit concerned about whether Pope will come back or not. So if I was you, I would not go with Dubravka, bro. Guardiola is fine. Guardiola, I don't have information whether he starts or not. Tony has not tweeted about Guardiola. Only he's tweeted about Haaland, Foden, and Edison. And Lazy FPL have talked about this other guy. What is the name of this other guy? Walker being benched. Walker being benched. So we only have information about these people. I've got Walker, Maguire, Bruno with only... Take hits, bro. Take him out. If you want, you can keep Walker. I mean, if you want, you can keep Bruno. Just take out Walker and Maguire. If you don't want to take too many hits, just keep Bruno and take out Walker and Maguire. So I guess I'm gonna have to go make my own transfers as well, guys. For -4, I will 100% take out Gusto. Putting Haaland on my bench because I'm hilarious. Go for it, bro. Take it away. Take it away. Wilson or Hoyland? I would go Rashmush. I would go with Rashmush. He's nailed on, gonna play both the games, you know, might have a chance to score. Same moves as me, Viz. Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking, bro. Just need to get the most nailed on players. I even have a mind to take out Reguilon, but I just don't like the prospect of Delo. Walker has been benched. Guys, leaked team news is, you already know, good 4.1 million defender. Now, we've... Hang on, bro. 4.1 million defender. Quick. Guys, suggest a 4.1 million defender for me. Will you help me here? 4.1... I mean, Johnny Evans' one is 4.4 million. He has a double game week. I'm not sure he's going to play both the games, but you can take a chance. Livramento is 4 million. You can go with Livramento. You can go with this guy... Fernandes, Maguire, Van Hecke to Gross, Guardiola and Dunk for a -4. I think you can do it, bro. In place of Gross, you can go with Johnson. You can go with Garnacho. Think about it. 4.1. 4.1. I don't have too many, bro. I can't. How should I find? Konsa from Liverpool is 4 million. He doesn't have a double game week. I guess Johnny Evans or this guy are your best bets, bro. Livramento or Johnny Evans. 4.1, go Barco or Chris Richards. I mean, if you don't want a double game week player, you can definitely go there. Salah to Foden for a -4. Oh, man. That's a difficult one. I guess I'd say yes, George. With a heavy heart, though, I'd say yes. By the way, guys, if anybody is not considering Van Bissaka, he's one of the most nailed-on defenders from United. You know, as of now, he's one of the most nailed-on players from United. Although he's not been doing much, but at 4.4, if you're looking for a United defender, you can go with the Van Bissaka. I'm just saying, guys. I'm just giving you options, you know, just because in case you hadn't thought about them. Don't forget to activate bench boost. I'm not going to answer any more questions, guys. Go and make your transfers and activate your bench boost. Enough. Would you do Eze, Robertson and Solanke to Haaland, Burn and Gordon? 100% trailers. And activate your bench boost. Johnson plus Delo or Garnacho plus Porro? Garnacho plus Porro. Thailand's chief asset, bro. No. God lives in each and every one of us. We just need to look inside. Know thyself and you'll know the world. Guardiola and KDB start. Guys, news is by FPL Tony. News is where's the news? Where did you get this news? Guardiola and KDB. I don't see it anywhere. Where's Guardiola and KDB? Who said Guardiola and KDB starts? Kevin De Bruyne starts. Who is this Professor Lazy? I'm not even sure if this is true or not, and people are tweeting. This guy has just got 200 followers. I mean, how do I know? FPL Focus says Haaland, Foden, Ederson, De Bruyne starting, Walker benched. Ederson, Haaland, Foden and De Bruyne starting, Walker has been benched. Okay? Yeah. Right, guys. Right, guys. I will not answer any more questions until you've told me that you've made your transfers. That's enough. Maguire, Bruno Fernandes out, Dunk, Johnson in, confirm. Enough. Bro, if you're putting Haaland on the bench, how are you captaining him? I mean, CAV, how are you captaining Haaland if you put him on the bench? If there's a way to do this, I do not know it. Porro or Delo? Pedro Porro, 110%. No questions asked. Is -8 worth it? I think in this game week it is worth it. It's just a -4. Need to know if Alvarez starts. We don't have that information, bro. Palmer is a good differential, but I would not captain him over Haaland. I'm just going on Twitter to see if there's any more information. I don't see it. Guardiola is starting by FPL Tony. Guardiola starts, Foden starts, Kevin De Bruyne starts, Haaland starts, Walker has been benched. Ederson also starts. Walker has been benched. Anyways, guys, let's lock our teams, guys. It's time to lock our teams. Captain is Haaland, vice captain is Palmer. Son Wiz as I'm chasing. Cheers, Matt. Cheers. All the best to you. Walker to Guardiola for a -4. I think yes. Thinking of Son captain, Haaland might disappear versus Spurs. Yeah, that's possible, but I'm just playing it safe. That's all. He might do the damage against Fulham. Alright, guys. Please, 3 minutes to go. Even 2 minutes. I really want to take a punt on Wilson. You can take a punt on Wilson, but the issue is Isaac. You know, the issue is he's not going to get that much playing time because he's Alvarez is starting. I don't have any information about Alvarez. I don't want to give wrong information out. Let me see if I have. No information about. I don't have any information about Alvarez. Start Igor or Saliba. I would start Igor. Double game week, take a chance. Saliba doesn't score too many anyway. Would you start Alvarez or Madison? I would start Madison. Guys, lock your teams, please. There's no more time for this, please, guys. In the end, these servers are running on hamsters. Do you really want this to happen? You won't be able to lock your teams, guys. Please, I'm just telling you to go lock your teams. The decisions have been made. This last 1 minute remaining. Go lock your teams, please. And don't forget to activate your bench boost. Everybody, would you start? I answered that. Don't forget to activate your bench boosts. Make your transfers quickly and just captain whoever you want to captain. Transfer done. Guardiola, Webster, Romero, in for Walker, Maguire, Van Hecke, bench boost active, Haaland. Cheers, Jugs. That's what I like to hear. Last 30 seconds remaining. Please make your transfers. I'm telling you. Actually, you know what? Pedro Porro will come in. What happened here? Why aren't they allowing me to put Reguilon on the bench? I like double game week players in my team. Oh, why is Gabriel in there? Get off there, you. 2 single game week players. Got in Hoyland instead and regretting it already. George, don't worry about it. I mean, I know Wilson is tempting. It won't make a difference in the end, I'm telling you. Your team has been saved. Bench boost has been activated. Everything is done. Guys, please lock your teams. 3 seconds, 1 second. It's deadline. Oh, man. Alright, guys. As I already told you, I've got guests sitting in my bed, in my drawing room, and they're waiting for me since the last 1 hour. I'm just gonna have to buzz off as quick as possible. Luckily, 2 free transfers, only a -4. Cheers, mate. Cheers. So, guys, my guests are waiting for me. I will have to ask your leave, and I wish you all a very, very good double game week boost, bench boost. I hope you have a great score and you progress in ranks. And Sarah says, "Oh my God, my transfer kept erroring out." Then, were you able to make your transfers? Were you able to activate your bench boost? What happened? Did it go through? Please tell me it did before I activated bench boost. Thank God. I hope it went through. I just hope it went through. Anyways, so I wish you all the best, guys, and I'll see you next week for the final. Maguire and Bruno didn't go through. And this hurts. I just hope Bruno starts. Maguire, you can't do anything about it. Let's expect United concede lots of goals and their defenders get like negative points. So in any case, you would be better having not owning Maguire. I'll see you for the next week's deadline stream for the ultimate end game of the season, guys. Until then, I hope you have a good one. FPL Visit signing out with my best wishes for your bench boosts. Zara, don't worry, everything will be fine. I'll see you guys. Bye-bye.